Welcome to the Seeds Storyteller Series with one of my dear time, most favorite brothers in the world, Kartikey Gupta. Thank you for joining us, my brother.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
So glad that you're with us at late in the evening in India. It's morning for me in Denver, but with the wonders of technology, here we are connected across the world and through time zones. And I'm so glad to be able to talk to you and for people to hear your story and catch a little bit of the joy and the hope that you are fueled by. So thank you for joining.
It's an honor.
So to those that are new to this, I want to make sure you know this is the Seed Storyteller Series, and we are specifically right now in the middle of a series where I have invited dear friends of mine who I am inspired by, who are really using their life, their message, their platforms to make a difference in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic, this crisis in the world. And each and every one of us have such different ways that we're responding. But I just wanted you to hear from my brother Kartikey about what he is up to, what's going on in his community in Jaipur in India. And as you hear his story, our invitation is always to lean in and find a bit of your story in his. This is meant to be a very connected, active conversation. So comment below, post your questions live and on the replay, and I will be sure to answer them, to connect you with Kartikey if that's what you'd like. But let's use the wonder of technology in this platform. Welcome, sister.
Yes.
Okay, Kartikey, who is sitting next to you?
Well, this happens to be my good friend, who's also my wife, Saloni. Yeah. So she's here with me, and I'm basically speaking about 40 kilometers out from Jaipur, the capital of Rajasthan in India. And we are in this time of crisis in the world. It's an unprecedented situation. I think for all of us, for even the oldest of generations, this is one of the things which has never happened before on this scale. A pandemic on this scale, which is due to globalization, which is triggered the whole world into a lockdown situation. Not only my country or my city. It's basically the same for everywhere. And these times are definitely tough. I think, but what we are not, we need to take care of, especially is our mental health during these times. Is our well-being during these times. As the systems and the governments and individuals and so many healthcare workers try to push away this influenza and viruses and all these things. It's important that us as common citizens, we actually are able to maintain a certain balance.
Yeah.
So and that is a challenge that is more easily said than done. So we're gonna talk about that, and I look forward to saying more about that during this chat. And we're both here in the rural Rajasthan, rural setting, staying at home since 1.5 months almost now, and finding our own things to do and finding our own colors of life. So we'll talk about that too.
So you guys are staying right now in Udayan, which is this beautiful, I call it this oasis in the deserts of Rajasthan, which I have been fortunate and blessed to have been there with y'all. But you're staying right now in Udayan, which is normally home for how many children?
Okay, So Udayan is basically a home and a day boarding school for orphaned and abandoned children and children of daily wage laborers. And we run a model of 7 to 7, basically a day boarding model where the children of daily wage laborers come in the morning, they leave their homes at 7, have 3 nutritious meals here, study here, play here, do a lot of extracurricular stuff and skill building activities and all that. And by 7 at home in the evening, they go back to their respective homes. By that time, their parents, most of whom are daily wage laborers or their guardians, are back, and they also have a family time. So this is what Vatsalya then basically does. And as everything is being affected during this time, we are also under complete lockdown situation.
Right. So this typically this campus of Udayan is full of children, but it has been quiet and empty now for about a month.
Yes.
6
More than
weeks.
a month.
6 weeks. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think one of the things that I love about what each of you have been inspired and very motivated to do is to use this time, bless you, is to use this time of lockdown, of quarantine, to use the platform of social media, of YouTube, to share your gifts, to share what expertise you have. So a couple things. Kartikey, the last time I was there for a family wedding, you were a wee one. You were, I think, 11-ish, and you were playing the drums like crazy at the family wedding or the pre-party for the family wedding. But you have used your love for drumming, for creating, to bring hope and to tell us about your YouTube channel and why you chose to kind of post these videos. And we're going to watch about a minute of one of his jam sessions together in a sec. But will you talk to us about how creativity and expression in that way is important to you?
Okay. So you know, there's always a silver lining in anything. I think even during these times, it's an opportunity for a lot of learning, and we can all learn to listen to our heart. And our heart tells us to do the things we love, we really love, our hobbies. Hobbies are often used as small words, but hobbies are in fact are more of what you actually are. So for me, I'm an engineer later, but a drummer first, I would say. So I love music, and so I just I'm going crazy into that now again. After years, I found time to actually, hone myself and really enjoy drumming a bit more. And so I've started putting up videos on YouTube, and I have a drum kit at home, which is now less dusty because it's being used. It's happy, it's singing.
Yes.
So I think not only for me, I think everyone has some or the other thing that they've been long aspiring to do.
Yes.
This is a very, very good time to just, put the gear on and just do it. So that's one thing which I feel has taken the burden and stress of these times off of me. And by sharing that with the world, I think everyone, it's a happy thing to do.
Yes.
Similarly, Saloni has also started something. She can also share.
Yes, Saloni, tell us about what you said. You've been working on this project for much of today. Yes. You've been building your own YouTube channel. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us.
Yeah. So as shared by Kartikey, the times are like difficult right now. the whole
Yes.
world is having. I think there is a lot of negative vibes in the environment and negative energy in the environment. When you listen to news or just look around what is going on in the world, it is difficult. So the initial days of lockdown were quite difficult for me, and then I decided that okay, like you can't just sit and just think about all these things whole day. And then I decided to start this YouTube channel, which I am thinking of starting from like almost 4 to 5 years ago. Like I'm thinking of starting it while I started working here in Vatsalya and Anuti. So I have worked with a lot of women and a lot of children in the last 4 to 5 years, where I have trained a lot of women and as well as have taught a lot of children in maths and English. So while working with them, I realized that if I can, while working with them, and I had my inspiration from Kartikey also for starting this channel. When we used to study together in our college, or I think probably in school, not even in college, when we were in school. So till 10th standard, he was doing a very good job in mathematics. But then all of a sudden, when he came into 11th standard, he was very shy and afraid to ask questions from his teachers. And he ended up being so scared of maths that he failed in 12th standard for 3 times.
Not the standard.
Not the standard. Not the standard.
Just
The pre-board exam. I'm so sorry.
This is going on YouTube. Okay, it's fine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, I become an engineer. Okay, and I have designed solar plants. It's okay.
I'm sorry. Why when not he didn't fail in 12th standard. We have pre-boards, like where you have to appear in school. Exams.
Internal examination
Before you go for final ones. So he cleared the final ones, but he had a lot of problem with internal ones.
It's okay.
So he was afraid, and on the light note, I saw even some of my friends who were really afraid of maths. I was okay. They really used to have phobia that we'll forget everything and we'll not be able to do anything. And the same thing I have seen working with children and women here. So I thought, why not? And for me, I don't find maths as a difficult subject. Maybe because I practiced a lot, or maybe because I like it. I'm not exactly sure, but I enjoy doing it. And I have read a lot of books on mathematics, and I realized that maths is usually made difficult when people do not understand the detailed simple explanation, because a lot of books do not have simple explanation. Like if they have one step, they will quickly go on to another step, and they'll miss 3 steps, and that's how you are blank, and that's how your mind starts boggling that okay, what happened, how it happened. So this is how I thought of starting this YouTube channel, and I have just uploaded I think 13 videos as of now. For class 10th standard, which is like there is a book, an ebook, which everybody can find in my YouTube channel, which is for like class 10th NCRT, like Indian maths. It is Indian maths. It's the book which is used all over India. So that is how I started this little channel, and this is my inspiration behind this, that maximum number of the curious individuals and the young individuals who are studying right now, who are at home right now, they can find something creative, something nice, and they can aspire to learn this beautiful subject, which is a lot of real-time application in engineering, as well as apart from that in your day-to-day life.
Maths is a universal language, you know.
So it is.
Yes.
That's amazing. And
But the
I'll
thing
make
is,
sure I add that link to the write-up for y'all so you can check
thank you.
out Saloni's channel. Okay, yeah,
The thing
Kartikey,
is,
go
it's
ahead.
important to do things during this
Yes.
time.
Yes.
It's important to keep
Yes.
ourselves engaged.
Engage.
We both want to give this message through this live chat to anyone who's listening, that
Yeah.
it's really important to keep yourself engaged and
Yes.
as creatively as you can, finding your passions and doing things.
And it
Yeah,
Yes.
can be a very, very small thing, from like, I don't know, from gardening to in your kitchen or redoing your house, or anything. Because we have to understand this phase, like whatever I'm hearing through news and everything, the phase is going to be quite long.
Yes.
So we all have to find somehow we all have to just try to find some peace. Because if we
Yes.
are idle, like for me, if I am idle, I'm most of the time worried about my family or about his
Yes.
family. Like his parents are stuck in uh,
London.
London,
Yeah.
so they are very far away from us. Like, and then there are all these thoughts: when are they coming back, or when are we going out anywhere? Because we are here, we can't even travel to Jaipur, and
Yeah.
like this is not the kind of world which any one of us has ever seen,
No.
like that you will be just stuck in your own house. So
Yes.
I think it is challenging for everybody. And of course there is the virus is a threat, which is
Yes.
like there outside. Like even in Jaipur, like Jaipur is the one of the biggest hotspot
Yeah.
for coronavirus
In India.
in India.
Yeah.
Like Jaipur is one of the biggest hotspot which is being located. So Jaipur may eventually take more time for
Yes.
getting things normal.
Yes.
So yes, what he's saying, like it is important that you try to engage yourself creatively and positively. I
Yes.
understand there are low moments. I personally have lots in these times, but I think sooner or later, when you start engaging, you start redirecting your energy.
Mm.
Correct.
That's all
I love that. Yes. Okay, and Kartikey, let's watch. We're just gonna watch 1 minute of one of your most recent upload, actually.
Okay.
Um,
Sure.
and
Ah.
like the neck rolls.
The stretching.
For those that don't know Bollywood music, you're in for a treat. Okay, hang on. Let me.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I love it so much. Hang on, I gotta shut the. Every time I screen share, just 1 sec. Let me get my. Stop the beautiful drumming. Okay. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that so much. I've watched that many times. I'm of all the viewers, I'm
Thank
probably like
you.
10 of them. So Kartikey, so one of the other things that I love that you chose to do during this time of lockdown is you recorded a video. It's like 12 minutes long or something like that, part Hindi, which for those who don't
Yes.
know, Hindi is the language spoken in much of India,
Yeah.
and then part English.
Yeah.
And what was it that you were so passionate? I have seen it, but I want people to hear what it is that you were so passionate to share in this dual linguistic YouTube video. And I'll include the link too for those that want to watch it. It's beautiful.
Okay. So See, as I said before, unprecedented times. So we need to take unprecedented measures to deal with summer times. So, viruses and, from a scientific point of view, viruses and bacteria and all these are also a part of a larger ecosystem. And, they're always going to be there. They're always going to find a way to somewhere attack us, and then we find some cures. And this has been history. But on the scale of globalization that is today, and the rate of spread actually demands from us, a break. A break. We need to break. From that video, what I wanted to share with the world was that you need to listen to the cues around you.
Yeah.
And it's important to adapt.
Yeah.
And of course, this is also more easily said than done, because we are in a society pattern which we take for granted, but it can break. It can break, and things can be chaotic, or I will not say chaotic. I would rather use the term, Stone Agey in a way. We need food, shelter, and the basics for survival.
Yeah.
Things we take for granted and go after money as a rat race, and our businesses and all those things. We need to understand that core things are the most important things of life. And when it comes to survival, and then there's a disease which is killing so many people, and as of now, which has killed. I think I don't know the latest stat, but 21 lakh, that is 2.1 million people have been affected, and so many people have died. It's something to take the cue from and stop and be careful and reflect on what we have been doing and set our priorities in a new way. Judge our lives in a new way. That's what I wanted to share through that video.
And thank you. And thank you.
Yeah.
It's an important.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for you, to Saloni's point too, in you being able to find a way to share this message and have some kind of meaning and purpose in your days, that you're like, it's a win-win. It makes your life feel, your heart feel lighter to be able to share this message, and it makes the world lighter. It's just a beautiful. And so thank you for following the cue to share. It takes some effort to do all the things that you've done. And the other thing that I love about your message, that's just part of the fabric of who you are, Kartikey, is that you have really you're both determined to look for, and you have seen evidence that in the midst of the great struggle and the tragedy of this coronavirus crisis, you see that it is indeed bringing the best out of humanity in some places and some people. Will you talk?
Absolutely.
Will you talk about that a little bit, and a story or two of what you have seen, how you have seen that to be true, that it is indeed bringing the best?
Well, I think, and we both have thought of this, that care has taken a different form. We really have started caring for each other, for our communities, and it's I think in a way it's just came into my mind, but in a way this virus has given humanity a bit of selflessness, in many areas. In my country, I have seen videos and friends have shared with me of food distribution and things like that across the marginalized communities, and we at Vatsalya we feel concerned about our children and their parents who are daily wage laborers and the women artisans, and we're following up with them, and
we're not only following them as well as people who are connected to them.
Yeah.
And we from our end, we are just trying that they are aware of what coronavirus is and what precautions, what things they have to take for themselves and their family. And second, we are just trying here in Vatsala, we are just trying to find out the ways where food distribution is there in each and every family. Like our children who study with us, they are still getting proper nutrition and three-time meals.
Yeah.
Is even that is a kind of shortage which
Yes.
are experiencing here in rural areas.
It's yeah. I mean, if you look outside, and I had just taken a drone footage of the surrounding areas, and it's empty. It's never been like that. It's never been like that.
Wow.
So the supply chain has been hit hard.
Yes.
And these are the times when cooperation, collaboration becomes really important. And that said, I appreciate my nation's efforts also in how, I mean, it has been a bit unexpected. It's like a good surprise that what I thought and had expected, they're handling it much better,
much efficient,
much more efficiently.
much better.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Everybody, even the food supply chain, it is getting a little break, but still there are ways through which we are able to connect, through people who we are able to coordinate, the panchayats, Anganwadi. So
these are local level administrations.
Yes.
Very local level. India has lakhs of villages. I mean, more than millions of villages, and so each of them is kind of functioning like a neural network. Not to bring the supply chain, but of course, I will admit that it's not so easy in such a big country, and there are people who are facing genuine problems.
Yes.
Here, I would also like to say that we must not believe whatever the media tells us, because if I switch channels, one thing would say, oh, A and B are super, they're doing great work. One would say, oh, B is against A, and this is really horrible. And one would say A and B are totally off, listen to C. So, so ground realities are strikingly different than what the media reports.
Okay, so Kartikey, what would you say is one or two kind of very recent things you've heard in the media, either about India or in the world, that you believe isn't true, like a truth that you think is important to clear up? Is there something, a specific story that's been given that you're thinking, no, that's not quite the whole story? Or is there a story that comes to mind?
Well, I did see a story on a Western media channel, and it was a dramatic picturization of how some poor migrant laborers are struggling and are dying. I mean, it was just too dramatic to be actually, objectified, if for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm getting at?
I do.
We need to look at objective realities. I'm not saying that they are not suffering.
Yeah.
But the degree to which it is picturized to form an opinion group, that's not really filtered enough through reality.
Right.
If I guess you getting what I'm saying, and I guess the listener would want to say anything.
Yeah, I was just saying in reference to that point only, like of course there are few ground challenges which everyone is facing, but there are like immediate measures also which are being taken to help them and support them in maximum possible number of ways, which is practically possible. Like to do lockdown in such a huge country is also a very big challenge. If the government would have allowed everybody to travel to their native places, then also it would have been a very different scenario for India, because the virus probably would have traveled everywhere.
Yeah.
And then the country like India, we don't have, even in normal times, we don't have enough medical facility for our whole population. I'm not talking about coronavirus. I'm talking about in general, when times are normal. At that time also, our hospitals are usually stuffed and full because of patients and a lot of other diseases which are there. So if that would have been traveled, like the virus would have traveled here, it would have been like, it is just so hard to imagine in which position India would have been. Because I know it is harsh. The lockdown step is very harsh, and again, it is easier said than done. People are facing a lot of troubles, and a few of migrants workers, they have started moving towards their place, and one or two of them even have died in this.
So we're not denying that there aren't problems, but
there are a lot of problems. Like what we are facing right now, there are a lot of problems which everyone is facing, but everybody is trying really very hard that problems can be minimized for everyone. Like government is trying to give them meals, they are trying to provide them shelters, and they are also providing them transportation also from one place to another, and then they are quarantined there for 15 days, and then they are allowed to go to their native home. So even this chain is also working, but again, it is not working that efficiently and effectively. There are few breaks which are happening, but I think everybody's trying.
But to a large degree, it has been okay till now. So let's keep things. There are trade-offs. I'll give you an example. If you look at road accident statistics and deaths from lung diseases due to air pollution, you'll find that actually the death rate has gone down, really down, because there aren't vehicles on the road. And Delhi and Jaipur have recorded so low pollution levels as were 25 years ago.
Wow.
So it's a kind of thing which, if you try to understand, you have to see the big pictures as well. But of course, this wouldn't make sense to someone who is starving, and it ought not to, of course. But for them, food is the first thing. So that is why again comes the collaboration and care, and so I'm sure that in a democracy like ours, like yours, like so much of the world is, people can come together and actually raise the spirit to defeat this virus.
Yes.
Which,
Kartikey, one of like also in the fabric of who you are is this spirit of joy, is this spirit of, even you were saying one of the things you wanted, like the one act you wanted people to take from this was to laugh more easily and more freely. So I find, I mean, how do you think that is a message that is meant for a time of crisis like this? And how do you experience that laughter and that joy in your own life in the midst of struggle, in the midst of a crisis?
Okay, so I'll give you an example, and I think people can understand this very easily. For getting rid of fear of something, we have to do that particular thing. It's strange. So if I am scared of roller coasters, I take a ride, and then I realize that, okay, this can be done.
I
Okay.
survived. I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same way. It has been shown in studies, and I saw a YouTube video also on that. I can share the link to that too.
Okay.
That the children who are exposed more to viruses and bacteria at younger ages, who have pets, they have healthier bodies, higher immunities than those who aren't. So things work counterintuitively many times in the world. So this virus needs to be accepted also. And counterintuitively, it may raise stakes for a better tomorrow or growth. And this would be hard to believe right now.
Yeah.
But maybe 5 years down the line, when this video is replayed, then maybe something would make sense. You know,
Yep.
I'm not claiming that things are fine and dandy and they're gonna be fine and dandy. It's a grave situation. I accept that, and it is truly serious.
Yep.
But at the same time, when we eat the roughage, which the food that we cannot digest, is what makes the food healthy. So it's the earth is having kind of that phase. We need to accept, we need to take full precautions.
Yeah.
Full precautions, as I said in that video, we need to take full precautions, take care. But at the same time, we need to take care of our mental health, that we are not going too far into fear and anxiety of this. One of my friends who actually fell victim to this particular virus, who is in DC right now, she may be watching. So she shared with me her experience, and she said one line that 80% of this disease is psychosomatic. 20% is the actual disease. So the 80% burden which has been created in our mind, that also releases the stress hormones into our body, which further reduce immunities.
Wow.
All those people who have recovered, their bodies have learned how to recover.
Right.
There's no cure. There's nothing. Our bodies have the potential to recover. That's proof enough for so many people who have recovered. So we can give a boost by at least being basically happy, basically accepting of the current times, basically acknowledging that, okay, these are difficult times, but we can make through it. My body can make through it. My loved one's body can make through it. We can now all go through it, with a certain sense of courage. Then it would be easier to beat, when the disease is 5 times weaker, because if 80% is psychosomatic, then you are left with 20% to beat the disease. So let your body and mind at ease. I think that's really important during these times of time. We can make it a healthy, functioning society again, with caution as to not overdo things, and with unrestricted freedom of, in so many aspects. We need to be careful of what we do with nature, how much we hurt nature, and all that.
Well, and thank you for that. And that's actually what as we kind of near the end of our conversation, I do want to take a moment to really speak to how you opened your story, which is the importance of mental health. And I often call these things places of pause or soul care. How are we navigating with a place of calm and peace and joy, even in the struggle, happiness in the midst of the crazy, accepting what is very challenging. So for you guys, as you're, in lockdown at Urayan, what would you say are one or two just things that are part of your day that bring you a sense of peace and calm and connection with each other, or just peace in your own? Like, what do you do in your day to bring that?
So we both enjoy one particular thing, and I'm basically crazy about that, and she has also started loving it, but it is a wonderful thing to do. The skies are more clear than before,
Yes.
and when you go up on the roof, when you lie down and look up and just stay silent and stay quiet and let those stars speak to you, let yourself wonder that we're just nothing in this universe. And I think
Wow.
that helps as a
Yeah.
place of pause. Would you agree with me?
I agree with him.
So
Like the star gazing is one of the few things which we do, and apart from that, I think I am also trying to do little bit of yoga and meditation, which helps me in this time. Like, of
Yeah.
course, meditation in itself have bring you a lot of thoughts and everything, but I'm trying to combine it with yoga along with meditation. Maybe just 20 minutes yoga and 10 minutes meditation and praying. This is something which I used to do a lot, but with the running life, with the rushing life, somehow it took a break. Automatically, it took a break after our marriage with the new work and new family and everything.
Yeah.
It took break. So I will say I think I'm slowly, yeah, not I'm not able to resume it in my daily life still, but I'm slowly resuming it whenever possible. So
Wow.
few things which I'm trying to include in my routine is one, praying and meditation, yoga, and trying to read something positive. Like we have started reading a book, Ikigai.
Have you read that book?
No.
Ikigai?
No.
It is
Do
wonderful.
do
Yes.
just do, and all the listeners, please do
Please
Ikigai.
do. It is a very good book to, I think, read during during this point
Just
of
get
time.
this ebook right away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll add it. We're going to have quite a list of quite a list for people of YouTube channels and books and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
World is connected. It's electronics, so even for the parents of my school's children and all those people in my community who are watching, everyone has a smartphone now.
Yes.
Get on it, engage positively. Anyway, it's important.
I love that. Yes. And so that's a great segue. So what we want to do is invite all of those that are watching on live and on the replay to replay this conversation with these amazing friends. And choose one
amazing.
thing. Thank you. And choose one thing that you want to say. I don't want to just be inspired by that thing, but I want to be changed. I want to practice. I want to do the thing that Saloni or Kartikey talked about. So I want to invite everyone watching to really commit to one act that you will do with inspiration, with connection to these two dear friends, and be able to say, I want to be different. I want to think different. I want to do different in this one way. So please commit to that, and please share that with one live person, because otherwise sometimes in the craziness of life, we forget. Or we don't follow through. We gotta fan the flame of each other's lives, of each other's inspiration and inspired action. So please, or post below, share with us. I would love to hear what that is, and I'll pass it on to y'all. And will you guys share? This is totally, I didn't even think about this till now. Will you guys share the Hindi words for brother and sister with our people?
Bhai Behan. So if you're referring to brothers and sisters, how are you? So you will say Bhaiyo or Beheno.
Bhaiyo or Boheno.
Right. Good.
Yes.
So may we have that sense of just family deep soul connection for life with each other, and be fueled in the midst of whatever is hard or whatever is exciting or whatever is in times of sickness or health, wherever each of us in our wildly different lives are finding ourselves. May we really have this sense of connection that is family, that is tight, that sees us through life. So before we wrap up, I would love for each of y'all to share one last thing that is on your heart, in your mind, that you want to, I call it a last seed of a story from each of you as we prepare to say goodbye. Anything, a story, an inspiration, anything at all.
I think to every person of the world, I would love to say, we can get through it. We can get through this. We can. We will. Okay. We need to just let these times also pass. Everything passes. Everything passes. We need to have a trust in a higher power and do our best and leave the rest. I think that's the message. Do you second that?
I second that.
Yes.
So, yeah. Just have faith. Like, I think this is all we here are trying to do, and are trying to just send this message to whoever we are talking. And people are also trying to give me this message, because sometimes I'm very, very, very scared during these times. And one thing I want to share with everyone, it is like, when you are scared and there are so many things around you, I think one thing we have to accept, that it is okay to be scared, and then we'll have courage to
even
move on.
For men, I will say this to all my fellow men. See, we have higher egos, but it's okay to be scared.
Yes, it is just okay to be scared, and just let's have faith and move on. Yeah. That's all.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dhanyabad. That's my, okay, y'all. So until next time, we want to sign off, to wrap up, to say goodbye, and remind each and every person watching how valuable, how much you are loved, how much you belong, and how much we belong to each other. This will change our world. It will change us if we live this way. And just a invitation for each and every one of us to move with inspired action today, connected with our dear sister and brother. And in doing so, light up the world, and doing so, do it together. So we love you guys. Until next time. Namaste.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Namaste. Take care, Sarah. You rock.
Oh, you guys rock.